Hello guys, nice meeting you once again. So in today's video, we are going to learn about the computer memory system. And our main goal or objective here today is to understand the concept of memory in computer system. So without wasting much time, let's dive right into it. So in classifying memory, right, we have two main types. We have the primary and then we have the secondary. Now the primary is also known as the internal, and then the secondary is known as the external. This primary can further be broken down into two main categories. So the first category we have here is the volatile memory. The volatile memory. So as the name implies, whenever a power is lost, or yes, let me say the computer shuts down, it is going to erase. So it is volatile. It doesn't retain the information or the data on it. So we have the volatile. And then the second classification or the second type, we have the non-volatile. Okay, now let's come to the secondary or the external. Now when we talk about the external, we can have types like the HDD, which is the hard disk drive, and we can have the SSD as well, which is the solid state drive. We can also have the magnetic tapes, and then the a whole lot. So let's talk about the volatile. Now in the volatile, we can have the RAM, which is the random access memory. Then we have the caches. Now the caches come into play whenever you are working with something that needs to be frequently accessed. So that data is stored there so that it can be accessed frequently. Now talking about the RAM, which is the random access memory, we can have types like the static random access memory, which is the SRAM, and then we can also have the DRAM, which is the dynamic random access memory. Now let's go to the non-volatile. So in classifying the non-volatile, we can have the ROM, right, which is a read-only memory. Alright, so this ROM can further be broken down into let me say a number of types. Yes, so we can have the EEPROM, which I'll be fusing it with the EEPROM because they look somehow similar. Then we have the PROM itself, which is the PROM, the programmable read-only memory. And then we also have the now don't worry about it. Don't worry about these where the EROM, EPROM, and so on. I'll be explaining that to you and then what they actually do. Yes. So now let's move to the third type, which is the maxed ROM. Maxed ROM. So let me talk a bit about this maxed ROM. Now the maxed ROM is a type in which data is permanently stored during the chip's manufacturing process. So the data cannot be erased, making it ideal for firmware and then boot loaders. Now I'm talking about the EEPROM, which is erasable programmable read-only memory. I said I'll be fusing it with the EEPROM, which is the electrically programmable read-only memory. Okay, so this EEPROM, what it does is by exposing it to electrical signals, right, it is able to erase it or reset it. And then by exposing it to UV light, which is ultraviolet ray, you can be able to reset it. So that is it, the EEPROM and then the EPROM. Okay. Yes, so as I said, when you introduce electrical signals to it, can be able to erase it. Now let's talk about the PROM, which is the programmable read-only memory. Now this programmable read-only memory is manufactured as blank memory, right? It is blank and can be programmed by the user only once after it is made. Now if it is being programmed, right, the data on it cannot be erased again. So it is programmed only once in its lifetime. Yes. And then we have the maxed ROM as well. I think I didn't talk about that. Or I did. Yeah, I think I talked about the maxed ROM. Okay, so now let's talk a bit about the volatile and then the non-volatile. So volatile, as the name implies, does not hold the data permanently, and then the non-volatile holds the data. Now the secondary, as I said, we have the hard disk drive, which is the HDD. We have the SSD. We can have the magnetic tapes and a whole lot. Yes, so every storage which is not fused into the computer system, or which is inserted externally, becomes the secondary. Yes. Now, as I said, the caches, right? Let's say you are working with something, right, that you need to access it frequently. Let's say you are texting or you are working on a project. These data or information are kept on the caches, which makes it easy for the computer to access it or the CPU to access it. Yes. Now the EPROM and then the EEPROM. So one is UV and then one is electrical. So when it's exposed to electrical signals, you can be able to format or erase it. And then when it's exposed to ultraviolet rays too, you can be able to erase it. And then the PROM, it is programmable read-only memory. I said that one is manufactured as a blank memory and can be programmed only once by the user. Then the maxed ROM, as the name implies, it is maxed. So this type holds data permanently stored during the chip's manufacturing process. The data cannot be erased. And as I said, if the data cannot be erased, then it makes it ideal for making of firmware and bootloaders. Yes, so if you have any question, you can drop it down in the comment section. If there's anything you want an explanation to, or you have any question that you want it to solve, don't hesitate to let us know, and we would gladly help you with that. Have a nice day.